Hello everyone, it's Loretta and thank you for joining me today. Today I am going to show you what I'm making, how I'm making it, and how much I'm charging for items that I am selling in my upcoming craft fair, which is the 28th of July, 2018, which is just 6 days away. And I'm a little nervous because I don't have as much done as I wanted. But I have ADHD real bad, I have decided, because my attention span is not great and I get sidetracked. Anyway, I digress. In one of my last videos, I showed you how to make these cute little coffee cups. And I got a bunch of complaints that I was too off screen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to redo one of the coffee cups and I'm going to make the carrier for them in this video, just so you can see how the carriers are put together. If you'd like the dies to make this project, you can buy them directly from the Stamp Doctor, thestampdoctor.com. Use code LRCoffee, that's all one word, LRCoffee, capital letters, and you will receive 20% off your order until the 31st of July 2018. So to get started, you're going to need to die cut some pieces, your coffee cup sleeve, and its little middle piece, and the carriers that the coffee cups go in themselves. These are not hard. These are really quite fun to make. And as you can see, I cut a bunch in different color papers so that I can use them. And I decided to cut the coffee cup sleeve middle portion out of just solid colored cardstock. We're going to start with this little red one right here. And here are the coffee cups. You can order these from Oriental Trading. These are food safe. If you want to make them and actually use them, you could do that. But they're mostly just for little treats. Okay, for this little coffee cup, you really want to start at the seam. And you're just going to put a little glue down. Too much down, you know, if you do what I just did, which is squeeze the bottle too hard, it's all right. Just wipe it off on the cup. It'll keep it in place pretty well. Okay, you're going to put this on the seam of the cup. Hold it there for just a second. Let the glue kind of catch. Rub that down. And then you're going to follow the lip of the cup around as quickly, really honestly, as you can go. Get it as tight as you can as you go, and when the two seams meet, since the glue is already there, you can put it down. Now you may want to go ahead right here on this little seam and put a little glue. Not too much. Keep your hands clean during this process because any slight boo-boos will show up, and you don't want that. You want it to look good, not crappy. So there's a cup. I mean, really simple. So now you're going to choose which color or colors you want for the band. Same thing. You're going to start right here at the seam, towards the middle. It's also a good time to check if anything's come up. Just go ahead and glue it back down and just hold it. Usually a few seconds, that's just all you need. And I'm going to put my little belly band, I guess, right there. I've chosen white. Also, it's got a curve. I'm going to put this piece onto my cup. This is more of a cylinder shape than it is round. The cup is, so you're just going to put that down and bring it around. Straighten it up. Put some glue right here. Hold this together for just a second. If any glue oozes out, just clean that up with your baby wipe. You need something that's fairly narrow for this project. You may also need scissors, especially if you're going to do this with your project. Okay, so all I'm going to do is cut off a length of this trim. So right here on that same seam line, I'm going to put some glue right here up underneath the lip and lay the glue into that little piece right there. Go ahead while I have it there and wipe off the excess. Bring this tail around to the back. overlap the two pieces. And hold that into place. This is, once again, this is Glossy Accents. So it's very easy to use. And it works great for something like this. So now I'm going to make sure that the coffee cup lid fits, and it does. So here's a quick tip, if you will. When you are cutting the bases, go ahead and cut the carriers themselves out of coordinating cardstock or coordinating pattern paper, which is what I've done. Because when you cut these tops, this piece of paper that it leaves for the bottom of the cup to fit into the carrier fits the lid absolutely like a glove. It's just awesome. So you can save yourself a little time decorating by just finding the coordinating piece of paper, or finding one that you just kind of like. So in this case, I'm going to use the white one. And with mine, I am not going to be using them for food, so you can just glue right over the lid. If you're going to use them to actually drink out of, I wouldn't put anything on the top. So there, this, and hopefully I'm still on frame, so just glue that in place and hold it down for a second. And put your lid back on. So there's the lid, and so there it is finished. If you wanted, you could die cut some bows or die cut a flower or something for the top. But I'm just showing you how to put this sleeve on, since so many of you said you couldn't see what I was doing. So now we're going to move on to the carrier itself. And when you cut these out, they look like this. I use double-sided paper because it could. And I love this. This is, most of this paper right here anyway is from the Crazy About Plaid collection. And so, since in particular this one has a side that doesn't really have a pattern, you can always kind of line this up, a pattern paper on one side and a solid on the other. I'm going to go ahead and fold on the score lines that this die has made for me. And I'll probably just fast forward you through this part. All right, my friends, this is the part where we're going to fold this up. One of these sides has a crease. There it is. I knew it had another crease line. I made a few, so I do remember that part. I think there's one right there too, but anyway. So what we're going to do is go ahead and fold this up. So this is going to go down and in like that, and there is a fold line. There, I see that score line now. And it's going to come in and tuck together like this, so that when it's folded, it looks like that. So far, so good, right? So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to take my solid color paper, and this end is what I need, and I'm going to cut it apart at the score line. The easiest way to do this actually is with a trimmer and not a pair of scissors, but it matters not. And I'm not actually going to cut it at that score line. You'll see why in just a second. I want it to have just enough of a lip to where it will just move as one piece. So in order to do that, I'm just going to cut it right here where the curve is. I hope that makes sense. And I'm going to put some glue here, put some glue on the tabs while I'm sitting here. You do not want glue oozing out. That would not make for a beautiful finished project. So I'm going to go on and glue these tabs as well. Don't get glue happy. So I'm going to bring this in. I'm going to bring this over. Tuck it in. Make sure everything's nice and neat. You have to fiddle with this a little bit sometimes. And so I don't know if you can see inside, but this little flap right here is still sitting up and it doesn't need to be. So I'm going to just reach inside. It's going to be a very funny angle to try to show you what I'm doing, but I hope that you can kind of get the idea. Get that glue in there. Spread it out a little bit with that bone folder. Wipe any glue off your bone folder at this point. Make sure it's going to sit flat. Now reach in and use your bone folder to push up. And you're just going to hold that there until the glue sets. That is the whole idea of this. And once that glue has set up, if you want to make a double carrier, you're just going to let them get married right here. So this is the one that I cut apart earlier, and I want this to be nice and strong. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just cut this scrap of where I used one of this on the back. I'll trim off the excess off the top later, but for right now I want this to act as a reinforcement so this won't flop down. Then I'm going to go on and put the glue on for the two pieces. Put some glue on this piece that I'm going to use to reinforce it. This particular die set also comes with some little embellishments to decorate with, just so you know. And there you have it. We're going to put these two together, line them up. You can still see a little piece of the reinforcement I put in there. Just real gently. If this goes off screen, it's just because I need to get it close enough to my face. So there's a double carrier, and your cups fit in just like this. Now, I just noticed something I didn't do, and I'm going to show it to you. I should have put tape on the back side of this box, and a little bit right here, and a little bit right here. I said tape, I meant glue. Bring this up, put them together, and hold them into place while the glue sets up. I don't know if you guys noticed that this pattern pretty much matches exactly. That'll never happen again. I'm actually surprised that it does. You're not going to notice it on the backs because they're too far apart, but on the bottom, that's really kind of cool that you can see that they match. So there we go. And you're really not going to see inside the bottom. There's no reason to like cut a cover. And you can have them to where they're facing forward, or they face opposite each other, like that. But this is the finished holder. All right, my friends, I should have really cut a hole or done something before I put these together, but I didn't. So I'm just going to use my crocodile and round off the corners of this carrier. And to decorate it, I'm going to use these plastic bags. These are actually meant for the food service industry, for like baguettes and things like that. So this is going to go inside of our bag. Get it down and straightened out. Easier said than done. Awesome. It's looking good. I'm going to go ahead and get these gussets folded back in so they're nice and neat. It's about where I want it. So I have cut this piece of cardstock. This measures 6 inches by 4, and it is scored at 2 inches to make the topper. That's about where I want it. So I have cut this piece of cardstock. This measures 6 inches by 4, and it is scored at 2 inches to make the topper, and cut off the excess as close to the topper as I can get it. Kind of that bottom edge of the topper right there. And if that happens to you and your little cups shift, no worries. Put it back in, Now there are several ways we can decorate the top of this box. I do like the idea of using some stickers, but I am going to take this bow die, and you can use whichever side out that you want. In this case, I'm going to use the floral side. It's going to be facing out, and the inside is going to be this red. I'm going to put a little glue right there in the middle, a little right here at that edge, and a little right here. Stuck to my work there. This is one of the most fun bow dies I have ever owned. I bought it from Tuesday Morning. And I like it because it folds in on itself. You could use your fingers, as I've shown you in previous videos, and kind of relax the fibers. But this slit and that slit, they like each other very much. So they got married, now they're on their honeymoon. So now it's going to look kind of like a fish. You see that? Looks like a fish. And I'm going to take this part right here and push it down. You can already see the bow forming. I do want to hold that into place for a moment while the glue sets up, and I do want a little bit more glue right here. You put it in the middle as well if you want. So after you've held that in place for just a few moments, you're going to pull that tight and hold it again. Bring it around. Now there's another little slit right here up top, and it's designed to go up underneath that one. This is kind of a tuck and seal kind of deal. So now it's in place, and I'm just going to make sure that it's straight so that it looks nice from the other side, which it's perfect, just like that. And this can go on top just like this. You could layer it onto a piece of pattern paper if you wanted, whatever you like. So I'm going to take some glue. Don't be too glue happy, you just want to get enough to where it's going to lay down. And since this cup, it's really kind of slipped out, I'm just going to manipulate that back into place. There we go. And just hold that down. If you're not patient, which right now I am not, grab a regular ordinary clothespin, hold that down in place. It can stay there for a few minutes. If you want more decorations for it, go for it. This is actually from the paper pack. It is called Photo Play. It is by Becky Fluck, and there is the map for plaid information up top. So if you're looking for this, I bought mine from Hobby Lobby. And so there's all kinds of really fun embellishments. You can even embellish the back of this, like with this flower. I'm going to save these though for other projects or other coffee cups. So here it is. It's finished. Once again, still pictures will follow. If you haven't already and you'd like to be subscribed to my videos, give me a thumbs up and share on your social media accounts. Stay happy and be a blessing. Thank you so much for joining me again. Take care. Bye for now.